Affectionately known as a celebration of geek culture, will take you to the most awesome three-day event in Washington.
And Nationals Star Bryce Harper brings a field of dreams to the Tacoma Community Center in Northwest.
Those stories coming up. The news rundown is straight ahead. We Are Washington starts now.
Welcome to We Are Washington. It started modestly in a single room at the Washington Convention Center, where self-described nerds pored over comic books. Today, AwesomeCon attracts more than 70,000 fans of pop culture. That includes everything from old school Pac-Man to anime, sci-fi, and really just about everything in between. We'll bring you the highlights from AwesomeCon 2018.
And later, it was an emotional day for many as the Bryce Harper Field was officially dedicated at Tacoma Community Center, with many excited Little Leaguers looking on. We'll take you to the event to show you what this field means to district families and coaches, encouraging young people to play ball. That's all coming up, but first, here's the news rundown.
Mayor Muriel Bowser cut the ribbon on the new Cleveland Park Library in Northwest, which took about 2 years and nearly $20 million to complete. Residents were eager to tour the new modern building, which includes walls of windows, balconies, and an enclosed reading garden. The 27,000 square foot library also has multiple lounges and work areas that are connected with the latest wireless technology.
Our government facilities play a part in bringing people together, getting them away from their electronics, getting them away from being cloistered in their own homes, having the opportunity to meet one another and engage in very meaningful ways. And a library is so emblematic of how we as a city can make that type of investment in one another.
This day is a joy. It's joyful for us. We've waited for this library to come around, and now it's here, and it's almost unbelievable. And I don't know who said it. It's like winning the Stanley Cup, right? In Ward 3.
The original Cleveland Park Branch Library opened at the same location in 1953.
Alley-Palooza 7 is underway in the district. Over the next 12 weeks, District Department of Transportation will improve 8 alleys in each of the city's 8 wards. DDOT uses a data-driven assessment tool to select the alleys most in need of repairs. Among the factors, condition of the alley, number of service requests, and community feedback. Since the launch of the Alley-Palooza campaign in 2015, 400 alleys have been renovated and repaired around the district.
Our website, for the first time, ddot.dc.gov/pavedc, has a comprehensive list of all the alleys that we're working in. It also, as the mayor mentioned, has a comprehensive list of all the local roads that we're working in. So members of the public can see the work that we're doing. They can track our progress, and they can work with us as we move on to the next segments of road and alleys.
Mayor Bowser announced 9 new projects to produce and preserve housing for 1,700 residents across 5 wards in D.C. The projects represent a $103 million investment in affordable housing by the D.C. government, including housing for seniors and the homeless. Nearly 2/3 of the units will be dedicated towards households earning below 50% of the median family income. The district wants its Kids Rides Free program to be smarter and easier to use.
Since Mayor Bowser launched the program in 2013 as a council member, students have used DC One cards to travel on trains and buses to and from school for free. Now the program is getting an upgrade.
Now all of our students have access to free bus and free rail to get to and from school. What we've learned over the last year is that we can make Kids Ride Free smarter in partnership with Metro, make it easier for families. We will be, and you will, if you haven't already, families will get a notice in the mail about how to convert their DC One card to a Smart Trip card for our students to be able to use to get to and from school.
Students will continue to use their DC One cards for identification and library cards.
Immigrant Heritage Month kicked off in D.C. with a celebration highlighting the city's rich cultural diversity. The event was hosted by the Mayor's Office on Latino Affairs, African Affairs, and Asian and Pacific Islander Affairs. Immigrant Heritage Month has been celebrated by communities across the country since June 2014.
I am so excited to be here to celebrate Immigrant Heritage Month And to echo what our mayor has included as one of our DC values, that is to serve all DC residents, no matter their immigration status.
The fourth Politics and Art event at the Wilson Building featured DC-based artists who use the power of their voices to inspire, entertain, and empower.
Justice at the surface and justice at the core.
The free public event was presented by Washington Performing Arts and council member David Grasso. This year's theme was a celebration of voice, from song to spoken word.
It's become the city's unofficial summer soundtrack. The 13th annual DC Jazz Festival delighted audiences with more than 125 performances at an array of venues all over the city, featuring more than 300 artists. Among them, Leslie Odom Jr., Robert Glasper Supergroup, and Maceo Parker, just to name a few. Many of the performances over the 10-day festival were free and open to the public.
The District of Columbia State Athletics Association inducted 10 new members to the Class of 2018 Hall of Fame.
The second annual Hall of Fame ceremony honors individuals for their outstanding contributions to scholastic and amateur sports in Washington. For many of the recipients, the ceremony was a reunion of sorts, and we were honored to host the event right here at the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment Studios.
We're here tonight as a group because of the good works of the DCSAA to honor those who have made a difference to kids, to schools, and to make this city a better, more inclusive place through their service.
From the best upscale brunch spot to DC's top chef, Washington foodies had their say at the 36th annual Rammy Awards. The Restaurant Association Metropolitan Washington Rammy Awards honors the best in the local food and drink scene. Among the winners at this year's Food Prom, for Best New Restaurant of the Year, Chaiko, which features modern Chinese and Korean food, and Chef of the Year went to Amy Brandwine of Centralina.
All right, there's a lot happening this week, but luckily we do have time for just a quick few items to recap here this week. So first I want to talk about the Cleveland Park Library opening. It was already very busy at that library before they closed down for the renovations and made all of those updates and modernizations. But it was known as the busiest neighborhood library. I'm sure it will continue that trend. Now more than 70,000 items on record, books on the shelves, things like this for people to go and enjoy and see. And it's also a LEED Gold certified building.
Stunning building.
Yes.
And I love to see that even, right after they cut the ribbon, kids had like plenty of, they were trying to check out books.
Right.
So they
Right away.
were ready. They were ready for the library, very exciting.
Yep.
And I can't wait to spend some time there.
Yes.
I wanted to mention the Rammies.
The Rammies, everybody loves the Rammies, right?
Of course, who wouldn't? That's something we're going to have to attend
I
next
know,
next
right?
year. But one of the big winners, Tiffany McIsaac, she is the pastry chef at Buttercream Bake Shop.
Oh, we know
won. We know them very well. She won for Pastry Chef of the Year, and I'm very excited because we will be featuring them in an upcoming piece. And I can say that I have tasted plenty of the items there, so I can confirm that, yes, she's the best pastry chef in my opinion.
I can't wait to see that feature. We've already seen pieces of it, but the most important part about that is that you did bring back some items to sample from that shoot, which was really good.
Of course, how could I not? Coming up next, the awesome world of AwesomeCon brings gamers, geeks, and Wonder Woman together for a pop culture showdown like no other.
And later in the show, Nationals superstar Bryce Harper delights his youngest fans with a beautiful new playing field of their own.
Welcome back to We Are Washington. One of the things that we always try to do on this show is to bring you to the big events that are happening. The opening of Major League Baseball, art shows, movies, you name it, right?
Every place we want to be, we take the show to.
Today, we're at AwesomeCon here at the Washington Convention Center, and it's the first time I've been to an event like this. What about you?
First time, never been to anything like this, and have no idea what to expect.
Right, and one of the things that I've always known about these conventions, they're very popular, they grow in size and enthusiasm, the people that come here every single year. So really what I want to know is what makes AwesomeCon so awesome?
Let's go find out.
This is a large show. It's a fun show. I've kind of seen that. Of course, I enjoy the costuming.
Comic-Con's usually a place where everyone gathers around to be a nerd, basically, so it's really fun.
The community and just the people around, like, you don't stand out in a good way or a bad way. Everybody's real family-oriented, everybody gets along, you have common interests, common likes, and it's a really good feel for no matter who you are and where you come from.
When we first started, we were upstairs in a room that is now just tabletop gaming, so like role-playing games and stuff like that. That room is about 17,000 square feet, and we did the whole convention in that room. At this point, we're using about 700,000 square feet, and we had 7,000 people that first year. We had a little bit over 70,000 last year, so that's the kind of growth we had in 5 years.
I just love how there's so many people that like what I like the same anime, the same video games, the same stuff. It's just awesome.
I love it. I love comics and all fandoms and stuff, so it's super fun for me.
Yeah, so many great costumes. People who attend Awesome Con really embrace the whole experience. You see entire families all dressed and in character, and they are ready to go.
Oh, they're everywhere, yes.
I just love Wonder Woman, so I brought my daughters with me, and so this is Etta Candy and Cheetah, and we're having a great day.
What character is this?
So this is Kylo Ren from Star Wars. Right now he is one of the new characters.
I've done Anna, I have done Sydney Barrett from Legion, just basically any character that really inspires and speaks to me.
Someone like me who shows up at a convention like this, do I look a little bit overdressed? Is there any characters you think of that I might be mistaken for out here today?
Well, you could be the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. maybe, or what is it, Peggy Carter, because you got a little plaid going there.
Is there any superhero or character anyone would possibly mistake me with, do you think?
I don't know. You got a little Ron Burgundy thing going on a little bit. I mean, just a little. You need a mustache, but he's not really a superhero, but close enough.
I am dressed up as a Wakanda Forever supporter. Next year, I plan on embracing even more of the character and fully dressing up as a Wakandian. This is my first time, and it's so much fun. And we decided to bring our daughter for the first time, so I'm enjoying myself.
What would you dress up as?
Oh my gosh. But I think if I had to pick something, I would probably, I'd like something low maintenance, so I'd probably do like Poe from Star Wars. He's wearing normal clothes. If I had to do something sort of outrageous costume, I'd probably go with Green Arrow, because I'm a big Green Arrow fan.
Tommy, I got to be honest with you. One of the reasons I had to stop and talk to you is because you're one of the only other people I've seen so far that's not dressed in a costume or a mask or anything else like that. So I felt like we could probably relate on that level, maybe, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We just love all stuff military. Most of us reenact. We started cosplaying with the 501st and the Rebel Legion, and we have cool armor, so.
We're here now with the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy, the original Boba Fett, Jeremy Bullock.
Sometimes people say, "Hi, Boba." Like this. One of my sons is saying, "Oh, Dad, you're not doing all that again." And my grandchildren, they sort of love it. I'm Boba Fett. Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
Our clothing is inspired by video games and comic books. It's all original designs. They're all made in the United States. We designed them in Massachusetts and they're produced in New York City. We have a high standard of quality, so we want to make something that you can wear every day that makes you feel awesome in your daily life.
There have been card games, board games, video games, and what we play is the role-playing games. So that's the book at the table. You make a character and you use dice to figure out what happens in the game.
I really genuinely love the community. It's a place where you can really go and everyone just appreciates and encourages. And even if you don't go all out with your costume, even if you just want to embody someone who inspires you or a character that you love, people around you are going to recognize that and they're going to just encourage you no matter what.
All right, well, I think I found a ride out of here. What do you think?
I don't think there could be any better way to leave AwesomeCon than in the ready-to-player one car.
Right, exactly. But, you know, there's so many things that we saw here today. What did you find awesome about AwesomeCon?
What I loved about this event is all the families that came together, full-on costumes, and everyone participating, having a great time.
Right.
I just think it was a much better family event than I expected.
Oh, it was great. And, you know, I didn't come dressed for the occasion, obviously, but there was a consensus among people who were dressed up that I could have passed for a Ron Burgundy costume.
I think that's a safe bet, and I think of you as Ron Burgundy anyway. So
I appreciate it. All right, well, if you're ready, let's hit the switch and get out of here, right? All right, so.
It was a big day for baseball in D.C. as Nationals superstar Bryce Harper secured his legacy here in the city, inspiring his youngest fans with the dedication of a new field at the Tacoma Community Center.
Some show up to play. Others give their time to teach.
Baseball is such a wonderful sport for our youngsters to play and engage in. It teaches a lot about life. It teaches a lot of lessons about being dedicated. It teaches a lot about teamwork.
Imagine being a kid again, and instead of going to the ballpark to see your favorite player comes to see you.
Today we're very happy to dedicate Bryce Harper Field, and we're basically trying to bring baseball back to Washington.
Major League Baseball star Bryce Harper, the Nationals Dream Foundation, and the D.C. government are bringing baseball back to young people, in part through this brand new field at the Tacoma Community Center.
We can give them world-class fields right where they go to school, right where they live, give them beautiful uniforms to wear, have players come out and encourage them.
The boys and girls are excited to welcome Bryce Harper, but it's also volunteers and parents in little leagues like Senator Satchel Paige that keep the kids active and learning on the field.
We have volunteers that come out and spend their time, their dedicated time with these kids. And my volunteer group are parents that are working in this city and are dedicating their extra time to these kids.
And giving their time is paying off. With their help, today more than 5,000 boys and girls participate in Little League sports across the district.
For a couple of generations, we didn't have baseball in Washington, D.C. And so when the Washington Nationals came back 14 years ago, it really helped us focus on how we get more young people involved in sport.
For me, the kids are our future. And we need to continue to nurture and expose them to all types of sports, activities, which I believe gives them discipline and outlets they need to thrive in today's world.
Welcome to Bryce Harper Field in Washington, D.C.
You know, I've always said that I want to leave the game of baseball in a better place than when I entered it as a kid and a pro. A field like this not only adds to the community, but achieves my objective of making sure the game continues to grow and is left in a better place than when I entered it.
I get a lump in my throat because from 1996, where it was little or no baseball in the inner city, to today, if you look around, these kids are elated. Their face, I mean, it just marvels me to see the smile on their face. They may not know about all of this glamour and ceremony, ribbon cuttings, but I know that we came a long way.
So whether you come to play or come to give your time to teach, in the end, it's all about building community.
So the kids, have fun, enjoy what you guys do, get good grades, listen to your parents, whatever you do. Boy and girl, do everything you can to exceed your expectations, and hope you guys have fun on Bryce Harper Field.
Everybody really was excited for Bryce to be there, to take part in the day. Just as excited as they were for him to show up and start the ceremony, believe it or not, the kids were just as excited for him to finally, and everybody else to finally leave the field so they could get the cleats on and step out on the field and give it a try, which was
let's
a
get
fun
started.
part.
Let's play some ball.
They were ready to go. They had the gloves out there, the bats, and everything else. So that was another fun part of it that you don't get to really see from the package, is that once it was over, they were ready to take the field and start playing on the field.
Yeah,
right
and
away.
such a great addition to that neighborhood. Yes. Well, that's all the time we have for this show, but we do have time for one last thing.
That field was presented and dedicated in part through the Nationals Dream Foundation and the DC Department of Parks and Recreation. It wasn't the first one, and it won't be the last one that you see in the district. 2016, they dedicated Ryan Zimmerman Field at the Randall Rec Center. And part of the Nationals Dream Foundation and what they do in sort of a community give back from the Nationals team is to make sure that these fields and these facilities are available for young people to be able to use and learn and play the game. So you won't see, that won't be the last one you see. You will be seeing more.
And that's so good to know because, you know, baseball for a while, especially when we didn't have a team, there were not as many kids in the city playing baseball, and now we have about 5,000 little leaguers in DC. So baseball is really back, and it's great to see these new fields. They're beautiful.
Yes. Well, that is all the time that we have today, but thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, you can see all of our shows on YouTube. Search Entertain DC, and we're also
on the radio.
DC Radio 96.3 HD4.
See you next time.